All right, cadets, welcome to another episode of General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room. Today is the first day of Godzilla Fest, G-Fest 27. It's the first one they've had in a couple of years, and unfortunately, I could not make it. I was supposed to go. I was supposed to be there, but unfortunately, things came up here, and I could not go. But definitely look for our representatives there who'll be handing out free General Howitzer stickers and flyers. And this is the very first Godzilla. So in honor of that festival, there he is. Have a good time. Be safe. So, yeah. So let's bring up my able-bodied assistant, Major Hazzard.
General, I want to salute you. That was a wonderful. I just love that new intro. It was so perfect. Oh, what are you drinking? Are you drinking your peach tea?
I'm drinking peach tea, of course. Yes.
Oh, I should be quiet so we can hear the general noises. I'm sorry.
No. All right. So let's not. Let's just say we did.
but the cadets will be so disappointed, General, if they can't hear a little and smacking.
Somehow I think that, not hearing me smacking is probably better. That's just my opinion.
Well, we love you, General, and we love you, and I do want to say at the beginning of the show, first of all, everybody should be sticking around because we have at the top of the hour, we of course have No Icing with Drita, which is Sandy's show. And she has
Which means we're going to be having to hustle to finish this show before.
We're gonna hustle, but who does she have as her guest, General? I think you were telling me that she has.
I do believe that I read something in one of the chat rooms that Dr. Piranha is coming back.
Oh, I just love him. He's such a villain, He's kind of nefarious.
I don't even know why she agreed to have him on the show, but anyway, there it is.
It's a little scary, to be honest with you, and he's kind of a no good Nick, but I'm gonna be wanting to watch that. It's gonna be
so. Anyway, because of the money that I've lost from this Chicago trip that I'm not going on, I'm going to shill, as they say. As you know, we have new General Howitzer stickers that you can purchase for $1, and the giant General Howitzer sticker with Hazzard and me on there. See how much bigger it is. With Hazzard and me on there, it's your last line of defense. See it there? $2 for that. And of course, we have the hats. And these are now $20, not $25, because I found a cheaper place for the rank. So we can pass that savings on to. We have the khaki. We have the OD olive drab green. And of course the black. I'm wearing my black and white outfit today because we're doing Bride of Frankenstein today, although we are doing it in color. But the original film, of course, is in black and white. So when we do a black and white movie, I'll wear the black and white outfit. So I hope you approve of that.
I think it looks wonderful, General. You always look so stunning and debonair. I'm just so happy, and I love the stickers, and I look kind of cute too. I think I look adorable. So,
yes,
anyways,
you do. Always.
Thank you. I have very high self-esteem. Millie has a lot of high self-esteem. Oh, I don't know why.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know why my name tag is wrong. That's a wrong name tag. Everybody, don't be worrying about it. I'll fix it.
You have a wrong name tag on.
I have the wrong name tag, but it's all right. I'll fix it. Don't just.
You know what comedian Dennis Miller says? If you're in your 30s and you have a job where you're wearing a name tag, you made a wrong career move somewhere online.
Well, I disagree with that. Because I am a real scientist, and it was.
But that doesn't include military.
It doesn't include military. It doesn't include the laboratory coat, which is very imperative for my very special scientific work. So I disagree with Dennis Miller, and even though I find him very humorous as a person. But anyways, Cadet Farwell is here.
That's
Cadet
what can I tell you, folks?
That's very. Is that gonna? You know, Rory Penland. He's the man of a thousand voices. He's a dear
I
friend
do a
of our
few,
show.
but he does 1,000.
He does 1,000. He's going to be doing Guinness. He's setting the bar. He's setting the world record with Guinness Book of World Records this August. Isn't that incredible?
Yes, he's the man of 1,000 voices, and yeah, he's going to set the bar at what 800 voices, I think, in August 20th.
And then
so look for that.
Up. Yes.
This is our first Universal Monster episode of General Howitzer, and we have a special guest. It's a Frankenstein movie, so we have our Frankenexpert. And let's bring up Jaime Bennett.
Hello.
There she is. So you're going to help me with this timeline.
I will try.
I dig the black hat and neckline. Well, okay, thank you. Yes, this is our first Universal Picture timeline that we've done on this show. I thought that it was, time for us. We do a lot of big monsters here, obviously, but I thought it was time for us to branch out. And, we're doing the zombie movies too, which is, something we should protect ourselves against and protect ourselves from, I should say. And again, you never know when a Frankenstein monster is going to pop up and, you're going to have to try to kill it somehow. So how do you protect yourself from a Frankenstein monster attack? And there's several of them in this picture. This is a pretty gruesome picture for Frankenstein.
It's very gruesome. It's a little upsetting. So we do want to tell people, if you have little kiddos or something, it might be too much for them. Some of the pictures are a little gory, but
so yeah, especially kids. He kills kids in these movies, these early movies, for some reason. He drowns poor little Maria. There's another little girl that buys it in this one. So if you see a guy coming at you, he's a big flat-headed guy, and he goes, "Arr, arr, arr." Yeah, run away. Get away, get as far away as you can. All right, so let's get started because we got a short show today. So let me get the timeline. Bride of Frankenstein at 15 seconds. This is the first time that we've seen this slide on the show. Thanks to the diligent efforts of our Frankenexpert Jaime Bennett. These have been run through a colorizing program, a colorizing app. So I hope that you enjoy them. The Bride of Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. This is let me clear this up. The Bride of Frankenstein is Dr. Frankenstein's wife. Okay, will you agree with me on this, Jamie?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, a lot of people think it's the monster's bride that they're talking about, Bride of Frankenstein, but no, you're not supposed to call him Frankenstein. That's the doctor. He's the monster, basically. They always call him the monster, the creature in these movies. Hey, there's Ruby Ray. Welcome. So yeah, that's something I wanted to clear up right away. It's the monster's mate that this movie's about, but the Bride of Frankenstein is actually Frankenstein's bride, who really isn't in this movie that much. But she's on all the posters, so that people can't complain about, hey, he's the monster. At 1 minute and 45 seconds, this is not Frankenstein's castle, by the way. This is Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley's manor. How do we know this? Because Mr. Shelley and Mr. Byron were poets, and they were deadbeats. So, and they were proud of it, too. So, yes, the Wollstonecraft family was a very well-to-do family in England. So there we go. Nice big castle there, or a model of a castle. Frankenstein. Shelley. Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. See how confusing this film is? Now, the poet Byron, who we see at the beginning of the film, is enjoying the night storm. He goads Mary to admit that her story of Frankenstein and his monster is not yet finished. This is Elsa Lanchester here, bride to Charles Lofton. Look at how adorable she is. Let's show 2 or 3 slides of her. She's just adorable here. She plays Mary She plays Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley in this, and she also plays the bride of Frankenstein, the monster. So she plays both characters, and she's so beautiful in this. It's a nice contrast to see her at the end, looking as she does. So, any thoughts about the opening scene with Mary Shelley and Byron and her husband, Mr. Shelley?
I really liked it. I like that they opened with that because, it's nice to see them including the, her in it. And it's nice what she has to say about the story. The fact that she's a female and that she's writing about monsters and she's doing something a little bit different than lyrical poetry, I guess.
Yeah, and she mentions that she's hoping to get it published, which means that they wouldn't publish it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And eventually she got it published.
Yeah.
So, but not at the time when they were talking here. Only they had read it. So I thought that was interesting. So anyway, Elsa Lancaster looking smashing here, as I like to say. And I hope you girls don't mind that. It's meant in affection. So anyway, the story begins with the very first Frankenstein movie leaves off, where the burning mill at the end. Frankenstein is thrown off the top of the mill by the monster, falls to the ground, and then they burn up the mill. But the monster is still alive. Yep, there he is. He looks a little different because the front hair has been singed off. Most of his hair has actually been singed off by the fire. So it looks a little different, but he's still alive. He's still kicking. Again, this colorization program didn't make Frankenstein look green. He looks kind of pink in these pictures, like putty. But anyway, what are you going to do? I tried to give it to you in color. What can I say? So the monster's alive. Old Hans, who lost his little daughter Maria in the first movie, he's there to watch the monster die. And unfortunately, he falls into he gets a little too close and he falls down into the mill, down into the water below. So sounded like you were gurgling mouthwash. Interesting, Mariah. And there's the monster. So he meets the same end as Maria did. He gets drowned by the monster. Gets drowned by the behemoth, I call him here. Hans's wife, she won't have to worry about being a single mom or a widow. She reaches down thinking it's Hans, and boom, there's the monster. And, well, let's face it, she meets her end. So, yeah, he throws her back down there with Hans. Now, how this old biddy survived, I have no idea. It's comic effect, I guess. They have this actress here, and she's looking up at the monster. The monster's looking up down at her. That's a face that only a mother could love. And that's the line I was going to say on the next slide, but yeah, her too. That's a face that only a mother could love. That's one of my catchphrases here. Do you see how he looks kind of pinkish?
Yeah.
Like putty. Anyway, he was made from dead bodies, but that doesn't mean he necessarily has to be green. But I know that I've seen pictures of Boris Karloff from Son of Frankenstein, color pictures, and the skin was actually green. And that's why on the monster mask that came out in the 50s and the 60s, Frankenstein was green. I guess because they had seen those pictures. Here is the real Bride of Frankenstein right here. There she is. And she's coming out to find out what the heck happened to her husband. Did he run off? Did he get cold feet? And look at all, and to quote the Big Bopper, look at all these lovely bridesmaids standing around. Hello, baby. So they bring his body in. Oh, it's a shame. The monster threw him off but he's alive. It's alive. It's alive. And the old biddy's there for the scene. So he has a lot of broken bones, I'm guessing, from being knocked off the well. But hey, let's have our honeymoon. I don't know.
Why not?
What do you think about this? About her? I think she's clinging on to him a little too hard. And he's like, oh dear, my ribs.
Yeah, she needs to let him rest. I mean, he just fell. She needs to let him have bed rest. She doesn't need to be worried about the wedding and running off on a honeymoon. She needs to just let him get his rest.
Fred Bowman is saying that he's having Star Wars Christmas special flashbacks. Come on, the show's not that bad, is it? I see that. Okay, so let's move on to the boudoir. Again, he's looking a little blue there.
Oh, no.
But they're about to get a visit. Oh, I forgot to mention that they brought in Frankenstein and put him on the dining table, which was kind of weird. Hey, let's put the dead body on the dining table. Let's ruin that whole room. This is Dr. Pretorius. He's the one that comes to visit. The bedside banner between Frankenstein and his bride was kind of weird, too. She thinks that death is after him. I think Elizabeth might be bipolar. Henry's just plain crazy. Yeah. So that's my thought. Anyway, so as the things just can't get any loopier, yeah, this guy shows up. and there's the old biddy again. You know, she keeps popping up. And the housekeeper lets him in. Why not? You know, can't get good health these days. 17 minutes when you come in to greet someone, this is the face you don't want to use. Looks like he's been sucking lemons all day. Look at him. I would like to talk to Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah. Okay. He says we must work together. I mean, seriously, can you trust this face?
I wouldn't trust it.
Can you trust that face? He says we have to work together. And Frankenstein says, never. Hang on now, Henry. He might give you some merchandising rights here. That's my guess. So, you know, you might want to think about this. Pretorius says he's created life too. So Henry is intrigued. When can I see it? Man, he just fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Right away. So they go to his lab. There's the modest little lab of Dr. Pretorius. And he brings out his collection of action figures. Shows them to Frankenstein. And, of course, the look of Henry Frankenstein says it all. Ew. Waiting for that look.
We got to go to the next slide. So y'all talk amongst yourself. We have to change slides. That's the moment, the intermission.
Okay, before we show, I'll talk to Jamie about this. Before we show those slides, what did you think about Dr. Pretorius's experiments?
Interesting, especially you know, the fact that they're miniaturized people, and the king has a thing for one of the other characters that's miniaturized, and he keeps trying to escape his little capsule.
and they don't even speak like real humanoid creatures. You know, they have that little thing going on. What the hell is that? So he's built a little king and a queen for himself, and he's got a little bishop and the devil who looks like him. So yeah, these are these little mini figures. It really does look like he's been sucking lemons on it. Yeah, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think that I would trust.
I'd like to see Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, come on in. I'm sure he'd love to see you. Thank you. I'm coming this way. Yeah, it looks like he's got a pull up his keister. Very good, Mariah. I should have thought of that. Exactly what he looks like. We'll put the corn cob up his butt. All right, here we go. This is his little queen. And how tall do you think she is? She's about Bandai size, right?
Yeah.
She's about 7 inches tall. She's the same size as a gargantua. So, and there it is. There's the look. Okay. I think I'm going to pass. So, Pretorius, he wants to create a woman. Frankenstein's about to tell him, hey, look, did I just tell you I got thrown off a windmill? I'm not feeling really well right now. And Pretorius doesn't make matters better. We go, ew, let's make a woman. That would be fun, wouldn't it? So, I think I'll be going now. So Frankenstein's monster is out there tromping through the woods. He's free now. Nobody realizes that he's alive except the old biddy, and nobody listens to her. And he sees his reflection in a little pond there while he's drinking. And he doesn't like that. That's my best Boris Karloff. Right there.
Pretty good.
Of course, when he talks to people like this, it's much nicer. So 27 minutes, he tries to save a girl from drowning. She gets scared. She falls in the water. He tries to save her. And, of course, things don't go well. She's screaming. He's... And then he gets shot for being homely. Well, that's not very cool. That's a little bit cruel, if you ask me. 28:30, the villagers are after him. They're all running through with the dogs and everything. They're running through the forest. The big lug is probably saying, "Geez, can I get a break here? Come on, I just want you left alone." How do you feel about the pathos of the monster and what they did here? I mean, trying to create a monster who's sympathetic, but he kills people.
Yeah. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Like, I think what they're trying to get across is they didn't do a very good job of it, is like, the whole judging a book by its cover thing. So, yeah, Frankenstein did, kill kids and stuff. So, if they wanted to get that ideology across, they didn't do such a good job with it.
I understood with Maria, she was throwing flowers in the water in the first movie. And he was like, "Oh, I've run out of flowers." Okay. And he throws her and not realizing she can't swim. Okay. Yeah. That was an accident. But in this film, they go searching for him in the town a little later on after this. We won't go. But and there's a little girl that's been. So, I mean, what's going on with that? Come on now. Yeah, they're supposed to create, again, they're supposed to be creating, that you're a compassionate character, that they should be more understanding. And then you go off and do something like that. You kill a Girl Scout. What the hell?
Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't like that they did that.
So, anyway, he's caught. And it is hypothesized from some that director James Whale was doing a Christ tableau. And it's a couple slides forward, I think, when they put him on a pole. There we go. That this is supposed to be kind of a Christ tableau. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
I think it's just a coincidence. This is probably going to.
Whale was good about. I'm sorry. Whale was good about doing symbolism.
Yeah. I don't see it here, but maybe I'm have more open mind about things. But I don't see it as being that.
I've got thunder going on out here. We had the same problem last night. Florida,
It adds to it.
Florida. Well, yeah, we're waiting for the storm, Frankenstein. Need the lightning. Harness the lightning. So now, why would you have a chair like that? What the hell would you need a chair like that for? That's my question here.
It's like
why would you even have that thing ready and waiting for Boris Karloff to come in? So they got a crazy guy chair. It's a big crazy guy chair.
Yeah.
Already set up and ready for him. Do you think he's going to escape?
I'm betting yes. That would be my bet.
Yes, he gets loose. He gets loose right away. The minute they leave the room, he gets loose.
Yeah.
It's like seconds. So he gets loose again. And again, he runs through the town. He's hurting people in their homes. He murders a couple in their home. A little Girl Scout gets her outside. They see her legs hanging out from behind bushes. Pretty tragic. And then he goes off into the forest again. So now, after wandering through the forest, he hears some violin music. And it turns out to be, of all people, music cures the savage beast, tames the savage beast. He has a friend who's an old blind man. He makes friends with the guy. He's an old blind hermit. And the blind says, "You're hurt. You're hurt. You're burnt. You're mute." How perfect. So he's hurt, he's burnt, he's mute. And even gives the monster a little whoopee blanket, which is nice. Makes him feel right at home. So I will dry your tears and I will trim your nose hairs. So yeah, he's teaching him. He's, his little lesson in table manners there. And, he's followed by some English language. The big boy likes his bread here. You can tell that. And his wine.
Yes.
Good. And yet he starts talking, which is interesting. He's enjoying that home rolled a little too much in this next picture. Ooh, colors. So, yeah, I'm guessing that's not tobacco. That's just me. So everything's good. Life is good for a few seconds. And then John Carradine comes in and throws everything in the dumper. And for those of you who didn't realize, that's John Carradine on the left there. He went on to play Dracula for Universal, a lot of mad scientists in movies. And of course, he's the father of Robert Carradine, Keith Carradine. He started a whole legacy of actors, the Carradine, David Carradine, who ended up, in a closet. Yeah. So there he is. There he is in his young, tall, gaunt glory. So yeah, Dracula comes and whisks away the monster's friend. So the fiend. So at 45:50, the monster is lurking through graveyards. He's trying to get away from the villagers again. And he stumbles into Dr. Pretorius, who is in the graveyard. Uh-oh. There's a match made in hell. So at 50 minutes, he's even got Boris doing shots. So, this is not going to go good. This is not going to go well. I can tell you right now. Pretorius explains that he wants to make a woman. And very happy about it. And our big boy wants the friend, so hey, there you go. He wants a friend, so why not?
Yeah.
52 minutes, excuse me, a little peach tea there. Pretorius explains that he wants to visits Henry Frankenstein. There we go. And this time, he uses the monster to persuade. So who could say no to that face? I mean, come on. Look at that cute little cherubic face. Now imagine making a person out of dead bodies and then suddenly realizing they can talk. Awkward.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's just say they talk him into it. Okay. They do a little snagging. They snag Elizabeth, take her off to a cave. This movie, that scene was actually spoofed in Young Frankenstein, by the way, which was very funny.
I don't remember Young Frankenstein. I've watched it a few times, but I don't remember it.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been
He wasn't drinking wine. He was drinking a Monster Energy drink. Now I'm guessing wine. I'm guessing maybe a little stronger than wine down in the cemetery there. So in Frankenstein's lab, obviously it's much better equipped. It's a better looking lab than Pretorius's little lab. And they have Carl there, who it looks a lot like Baron Frankenstein's original assistant, Fritz. It's the same actor. That's why I said that. It's actor Dwight Fry, who was a regular guy in these movies in the early actually in all of the Universal movies. He was even in some of the later ones, usually playing bit parts. But in the first one, he played Fritz, who was a hunchback. In this one, he plays Carl, who's just creepy as hell. And it's a very fresh heart. Shut up, idiot. And I have a picture somewhere of me at his gravesite, at Dwight Fry's gravesite. Anyway, and Alice Cooper wrote a song about him, "The Ballad of Dwight Fry." Anyway, I digress, and we need to get moving here again. It's go time.
Yep.
So we skipped right through the safety pins line. Anyway, so you can't tell me that Dr. Frankenstein doesn't enjoy this. He does. She's alive. I love to do that impression. She's alive. It's alive. I tell you, it's alive. But there was two people killed to make her. So it's like one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah, pretty much.
So she's unwrapped, and hey, she looks like Mary Shelley.
Yep.
They killed Mary Shelley and made her. Oh no. She barely got time to write this book.
Oh, no.
And then Pretorius says, the idiot, this is where all the confusion started, right here at this very moment. She's looking around, and Pretorius reaches out and says, the Bride of Frankenstein. And that's where this whole confusion began.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, the flat-headed guy is Frankenstein now. Oh! So, and again, people who are purists who really like the Frankenstein movies hate it when people call the monster Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm making a big deal about this, because I know. And he comes in, you know, at this point, you know, he's getting all hot and bothered. You know, hey, there she is. I've been waiting for you. And of course, her reaction is priceless.
Yeah. She screams at him.
Yeah, well, you know, eventually. The first one was just a which was enough to say, hey, I'm not cool with this.
Yeah.
So again, the big kahuna is not feeling good about this. He keeps trying, but he's getting the cold shoulder. Literally, he's getting the cold shoulder, like dead body cold shoulder. So I think his problem is he's a little bit too direct. Grabs her hand, makes for it. She's like, and then she screams at him. So I mean, and I feel sorry for him. You know, first dates are not easy, but
especially in this.
and she shouldn't be too picky. That's my feeling. But there it is. He does look rough. I mean, granted, he's been burned up. He's been shot several times. So he looks rough. But yeah, you can see how sad the poor guy is. But hey, when a woman says no, she means no. You know. And by the way, if things go awry and you don't get what you want as far as, you know, dating a girl, don't go blowing everybody up around you. All right? That's not nice. You know, they didn't deserve that. He does let Frankenstein and his wife go, and his bride, Frankenstein's bride, go. That's true. You go. You live. That's the scene right there.
Yeah.
But he blows himself up, and the bride and her up. The Bride of Frankenstein. She's not the Bride of Frankenstein. She's his bride, the monster's bride. Anyway, and that's where she hisses at him. That's like the worst. Like a cat. That girl needs some Paige Tate. That's what I'm saying right now. Relax. And he's crying as he pulls the lever, and boom, the whole place goes up. That's no way to end a date. Come on. Be cool. Be cool. You can handle it, big guy. Come on. And of course, the end of the movie, we see Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, because it's her movie. Come on.
Yep.
And there it is. So, all right. Thank you so much, Hazzard, for showing those slides for us. So let me talk to Jaime a bit. We've got some time still. We've only gone 30 minutes, so we've got some time, right? We got 5 or 6 minutes. I know you've done a lot of research on Frankenstein. In this film in particular, what really stood out for you? What did you really feel about this particular picture? I just, you know, somebody mentioned the collar on my shirt, and I didn't realize it before, but it's just, now I get it. Anyway, sorry. Looks like a Star Trek uniform.
I think that they're trying to create a character that's like, you know, a monster and scary but relatable, you know, like he's very, very relatable. And one of my favorite lines in the entire movie comes toward the end, like when she sees him for the first time and like she's screaming and making all those noises at him. He's like, oh, she hates me. And I mean,
he does. He says it flat out. She hate me.
That's like my favorite line of the entire movie. But, you know, I think they tried to create a monster that's relatable.
Well, I mean, and unless we forget, Fritz, who we mentioned earlier, was the one that screwed up and dropped the brain that was supposed to go in there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what would have happened if, the right brain had gotten put in there? He wouldn't be killing everybody. He wouldn't be blowing up the lab at the end. But in later Frankenstein movies, I remember The Bride, where Clancy Brown played the monster, and I remember Robert De Niro playing the Frankenstein monster, which was really interesting. Yeah. This Frankenstein guy, I want him dead. I want his family dead. I thought they should throw Joe Pesci in as a Wolfman,
Hey, what? Look, the full moon, the hand of fame's gonna bite you on your neck, you prick.
Yeah. There you go.
But anyway, so they actually kind of changed the monster so that as time went by, his looks got better.
Yeah.
So that he didn't look so bad, when the bride met him. And I think even in The Bride, it turns out that Frankenstein, played by Sting, of all people, turns out to be the villain. And the monster actually runs away with the bride at the end of that movie, which is, you would think was more appropriate. She goes for him. So there you go.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that one on this show someday. We'll have you back. So, but again, his mind is that of a murderer, a killer. It's an abnormal brain.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, he's even still, as Boris Karloff played him, compassionate.
Yeah.
He's he knows what he wants. He doesn't push too hard for it usually, and people are screaming at him and shooting at him just because of how he looks.
You're gonna get upset if somebody's shooting at you. So I mean, what can you do?
It's true. Luckily for him, he's indestructible.
Yeah.
By the way, since you're an expert, what is the only way we can tell our viewers that you can kill a Frankenstein monster?
I would say fire. Like, you burn him up.
Well, they burned him up in that mill, and he came back. He doesn't like fire. That's true. Fire bad.
Maybe modern weapons, like maybe a a tank that would get him.
Nuclear weapons. No. Actually, the answer is very simple, and they almost did it in the first movie.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
whatever they tranquilized him with, what is the word I'm looking for? Anesthesia they used on him he was stronger, so it wore off quicker.
Yeah.
So he woke up before they were able to do it. It's to dissect him. They need to dissect him, pull him apart the way he was made.
Yeah.
And that's, unfortunately, that's the only way that you'll ever really, kill a Frankenstein monster. They're indestructible, pretty much.
Yeah.
And to go as far as to say, even a nuclear bomb or an atomic bomb, I should say, didn't kill him in Frankenstein Conquers the World. His heart was still alive, still pumping. A kid ate it and became Frankenstein. So it's pretty much damn near indestructible.
Yeah.
So any closing thoughts on Frankenstein and the series? And the Universal series was probably the most entertaining.
Yeah, I love Frankenstein's monster. Let's use the correct terminology.
Yes.
I love the monster. I love, the idea of here's this misunderstood creature and people are coming down hard on him. And it's that whole don't judge a book by its cover. Like, you don't judge somebody by the way they look. You don't judge somebody for having tattoos and stuff. They're probably a really, really nice person. You need to give them a chance.
I never was into the tattoo thing myself. I always think, hey, you're going to be an 80-year-old person someday and you're going to have to explain those tats.
Oh, well, it's all right.
They're going to be moving all over your body and it's going to look like, Picasso.
My Luna moth will become like a vulture or something. Who knows?
If you got a spider web on your face, that you got to explain that. And that's even if you're in your youth, if you're applying for a job or something.
Yeah, exactly. I can
So just keep that in mind. If you need to get tattoos, if you feel the need, you know, maybe not in the most visible places. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room. Major Hazzard, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. There's some more comments that you might want to read as we're going.
Yes. I saw somebody say a Bugs Bunny quote.
Monsters are such interesting people.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that one. You could go to Evil Dead route and use a chainsaw and bury him in 17 spots. Dissect him.
Dissect.
Okay, there's even a movie called Dracula versus Frankenstein. We're definitely doing that one on the show someday, and you'll be here for that. Where Dracula pulls him apart piece by piece at the end of the movie. Because that's the only way to destroy him, is to pull him apart piece by piece, just the same way he was made. Mm-hmm. And again, you got to keep the pieces apart.
Bury them
you put the pieces parts back together, and he's a chicken McNugget for Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Evan Farwell, that was Ben Franklin. Use the kite and the key. Other lightning experiments. That's our trivia for the day. I can see it now. So, Johnny, what did you do for the summer vacation? Vacation, I ate Frankenstein's heart. Yeah, it was a little kid in Hiroshima. It grew into a giant monster. Again, that one we're definitely doing on the show. It's coming soon. It had Nick Adams in it. Great movie. So, all right. Well, thank you so much again for being on, and hope you all enjoyed this installment of Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein on Howitzer. Keep an eye out for those big monsters out there.
And stick around for No Icing with Drita is going to be up in 5 minutes. So we'll see you all there. Bye, everybody.
Very good.